Lucy and this is my channel, The Sewing Gardener. Very big welcome to you if you are new here and welcome back if you have been before. I have had a flurry of new subscribers to which I am truly grateful, so thank you all very much. If you are new here, this is my small corner of the internet where I discuss all things sewing, and occasionally during spring, summer, autumn months I'll be gardening smattered in across my vlogs, but always at the end, so if you're not into gardening you don't have to watch that at all. But today I am discussing all things Sew April Blouse. This is a challenge that is running over on Instagram at the moment by the very lovely Gabrielle from Cloth Edit and the also very lovely Tamlin, who is Sewn on the Tyne, and they are running this challenge. I'm not sure how many years it's been running, but definitely a few. I thought I will run through all the rules of the challenge, and then I have pulled out most of the blouses, if not all of the blouses that I have made, and some fabrics that I was thinking of sewing up for this challenge. So we'll get right into it. So April Blouse, there are 4 main rules to this challenge. The first one being you need to sew a blouse using woven fabric. So you cannot use a stretch for this challenge, unfortunately, but you any woven, so a viscose, double gauze, cotton lawn, just cotton, all things go. So it has to be a woven based fabric. You need to post your entry anytime from now up until the 30th of April, and that would be wherever you are in the world. So it is open worldwide, which is also another rule in a minute. Let me not forget that. So you need to post your entry up to 23:59 on the 30th of April, wherever you are in the world. You need to state where you are in the world. You need to use the hashtag Sew April Blouse 26. Rule number 3, this is incredibly important. On your photograph that you will use for your entry to the challenge, you need to tag both at cloth_edit, and then you also need to tag Tamlin, who is at sewn_on_the_time. I will put them here and it will be in the description box as well, and there should be some photos that are coming up here with the rules. And if you head over to Instagram and find them both on Instagram, because you actually, in rule number 4 is also that you need to follow both. Make a blouse using woven fabric, use the hashtag Sew April Blouse, state where you are in the world, post it before the end of the 30th of April, so up to 23:59. Important to tag both on the photograph. Don't collaborate, but just tag them and then follow them both on Instagram. So I could have just said it much quicker the first time, but I didn't. Now, there are a few other things that I was going to mention. This is a judged challenge, but don't let that put you off. I know some people are put off by it being a judged challenge, but actually the way I look at it is, if you've always fancied sewing a blouse, regardless of your sewing ability, this is a good prompt to get on and make you do it. And if you enter, you've got nothing to lose, have you? So that's the way. It's not going to cost you anything other than the fabric and maybe a pattern, but you'd want to do it anyway. And this might be the push that you need to do it, and you could even win a prize. It has to be a blouse, not a shirt. So I've got a board here with some bits down. So I will put them here as well. There is a graphic to say what constitutes a shirt and what constitutes a blouse. So a shirt would be something with a collar and a collar stand. Now blouses do have collars, so you're thinking more of a formal shirt, I would say. So you've got, and then you'd have cuffs, button down cuffs generally on a shirt, not always, and a button down placket made with usually a stiffer fabric, and it would have set in sleeves. Whereas a blouse can be made in a variety of fabrics, as I say, viscose being one, double gauze being another. Less stiff, they'd be more drapey like this. They could have a frill like this, and some pretty details a bit like this. So actually, if we're talking about this blouse, this is, and I've just noticed, look at that, every time I wear this I forget that my buttonhole there ran out of thread and I've never actually redone it, so it's gaping. This is the Raider blouse by Madswick. I haven't got the pattern here, but I'll put a line drawing up here for you, and the links, all the links to everything, all the blouses that I mentioned will be in the description box. I am doing this from memory. I'm pretty sure there is a sheared version and then there's a version without a placket. So this, whilst I just said a shirt has a formal placket, this is a thinner placket, but this is a blouse. And if you're unsure, if you choose a pattern that says blouse in it, it's onto a winner, isn't it? So that's the other way I would look at it. So yeah, that's this one. This is the Madswick. Last year I entered the ermine blouse by Fibre Mood. That's just a note that was stuck on the pattern. And this also, yes, this also came in a Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box a while back. And so the first one I made was in this viscose, which actually came in the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe, and it's got a very nice, so this again, button down, it's got gathered sleeves, it's got a yoke on the back, a yoke on the front. We'll get rid of that one, but I didn't show you what I made for last year's April blouse challenge, and it was again a Fibre Mood ermine, but I made this one in a gorgeous heart, I'm assuming it's a viscose chalet or something. It's a very lightweight, it's almost a creamy fabric. It is absolutely beautiful. I wore this to Stitch Festival on the Friday and actually got loads of compliments on it, which I was really quite surprised about actually, because I don't wear it that often. I'm a cold person and it's very drapey blouse, and therefore feels like quite light on me, so I don't tend to wear it, but I will be wearing it more because it was a big favourite. So yeah, I made that and entered that one last year. I will be making another ermine. I love the pattern. I've obviously got to. I will make more. I'm not going to enter it this year though. I have plans for this year for something that I really wanted to make for so long, but I haven't. So this is another blouse that I've made, and I've made the dress version in this twice, definitely once. And this is the Deo blouse by Amazing, and the difference with this blouse is it's got a little hook and eye at the back with a keyhole opening. I've made it in this very lightweight sateen, and it's got a lovely shearing detail on the cuff, if you can see that there, and on the waist. Now I'm not a peplum person, I'm not, because I'm pear-shaped and I've always felt that peplums would accentuate the hips. However, this one is quite a nice, I'll put a picture of it in here where you're wearing it. It's also got a sheared detail on the waist which creates a peplum on the blouse, which actually I think is quite nice. So there's that one, which is the Deo blouse, as I say, by Amazing. Now this one is a free pattern on the Maison Fauve website, and I have checked. Now I would have entered this for the blouse, so April blouse, but instead, because it was a free pattern and it was fabric that I had in my stash, I entered it. Now I've done this a few times and then it's made me not know what to make for April into So Frugal. But yeah, so I made this, and it's got a lovely pin tuck detail there, if you can see on the front, and then it's got also sort of pin tucks on the sleeves there. They are 3/4 length sleeves. I'm not a huge fan of quarter length sleeves, I think I've said this before, even though quite a few of my blouses are. Okay, I made that great blouse pattern. I've seen people make it in a plain fabric as well, and that really shows the pin tuck detail in a plain, and it's got a little gathered sleeve here, and it's got a seam down the back. So that is a lovely pattern, and it's free, and it's on the, so it's a Maison Fauve, and it's called the Tilda. And then Another favourite of mine, which I've made this so long ago now, is the Bakerloo Blouse by Nina Lee. I made it in a plain navy double gauze. This was my first version, and again, I have worn this blouse. Absolutely love it. I didn't think I would love the collar on the Bakerloo, I've got to be honest, but I do love it. I saw somebody, might have been Josie from Fabric Godmother, she did in a chambray, I think, a plain version, and I thought, yeah, I need a plain version, because then you don't notice the collar quite so much. The only downside to the Bakerloo blouse is that the collar flaps up, and if you put a jacket on, it flaps up, so it might just be that you could rectify that by holding it down with a couple of stitches. So I've got it in a double gauze, but then I loved it so much that I made it in this cotton poplin. Like it, don't like it as much. It's a really pretty fabric. It's been squashed in my wardrobe, hence why it's a bit creased. But yeah, I don't love it as much as that one. But a great pattern that is. And if you wanted to experiment with ruffles, there's loads. If you use the hashtag Bakerloo, because it coats the dress as well, Bakerloo blouse, lots of people have changed the ruffle, the colour of the ruffle. I personally prefer it to blend in rather than accentuate the ruffle, but there's lots of options you can do with that. This one I've made twice. It is the Wilder gown. I've made the dress twice, twice. But I've made the blouse too. This, if you're a less confident sewer, it looks tricky, but actually it's not that difficult. What do they say? They say, yeah, beginner for woven fabrics. This is the pattern. It's Friday Pattern Company. Obviously they've got the dress on the front, but there is the blouse here. And from memory, let me just get my glasses, I don't think it uses that much fabric either. So from extra small to medium was 1.7 meters of fabric, and then large to XXL is 1.8, and then it does actually go up to 7X as well, which gives you a bust of 59 to 60. So it's a really good size inclusive pattern as well, and it does come up quite big, so great pattern, brilliant for beginners. So if you wanted to have a go at that, because it gives you, so this one I did without any elastic, and then this one I just put a bit of elastic in the cuff as well, just to give it a bit. Made longer sleeves, and it's got a little bow detail there. Love both of these. Have worn them absolutely loads. The white one more so than the green. And then another Friday Pattern Company one that is lovely, bit similar to a, no, it's not similar to a shirt, that's a lie. It does have a collar, but it's a pretty collar, and you can have it in a lower neck or a higher neck here on the line drawings, and you can have it long sleeve or short sleeve. I've got 3 versions to show you. So I've got this one. This was a Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box, and I missed out, but actually Tamlin had it and put it on a D-stash, and I nabbed that. So this is it in a cotton lawn, and I did the sleeves with a little button on the cuff there. I think the next one, I think I'm doing them in order. I then loved it that much that I made another one in a beautiful Liberty fabric that I got, again, sleeves. I didn't lengthen the sleeves on this one, rather annoyingly, because I've got very long arms and it is a bit short, but I still wear it nonetheless. But it's a very beautiful cotton lawn. And then I also made it in this fabric, and I made a higher neck this time in a short sleeve for summer, for work. Perfect for work, again, squished in my wardrobe, so excuse the creases. But yeah, and that's just in a cotton lawn. Blouse make was for So Yellow for Endo, and it was the Fleur by Fabric Godmother, and I used this beautiful embroidery anglais that I had in my stash for absolutely ages. Again, I said I didn't like a peplum, so I just extended the placket, which you can find details about over on my grid on Instagram. Added an extra bow here, yeah, and don't know what else I was going to say about that then. So I'm so sorry, I had a bit of a mind blank. Yeah, so I omitted the peplum, which I think is quite nice for me. And it's a nice summer blouse, nice and breezy. Can't wait to get some more wear out of that. That is the freshly made one. And then another pattern that I pulled out, which I think is great for a beginner, is the Sage Brush Top, again by Friday Pattern Company. It doesn't say it's a blouse, but I'm pretty sure it constitutes as a blouse. It's easy and for woven fabrics. Again, very size inclusive. Can't remember what it goes up to, but I will tell you. It goes up to, yeah, 7X again. And again, if you made the extra small to medium and 45-inch wide, you'd need 1.9 meters. If you had a wider fabric, so up to 60 inches wide, you would only need 1.5 meters. So, and it's easy. So there's lots of people that have made this. It's got puffy sleeves. It's got a yoke on the back, yoke on the front where you add this ruffle detail. This was only ever supposed to be a wearable twill. It is in a polycotton, but it's so pretty and it's had loads of use. I did the tie back. A lot of people have omitted that and put a button instead. So that's everything that I've made. What am I planning to make for this year? I am planning to make the Anna Allen. Is it Anna Allen? It is Anna Allen, isn't it? Anthea blouse. I have had that pattern in my stash forever. I knew I'd pulled it out, but I couldn't see it on my stash here. So this is Anna Allen. It is Anna Allen. Excuse me. And this is the Anthea blouse. And that's what I want to make. So you see, it's got a little button placket, puffy sleeves. Then the fabric I want to make it in is this, which is a cream and black, just cotton. So I think I got it in the Fabric Godmother sale. So that, it might even be, I would like to make that, and then I'm not going to have time to make another one, I don't think. But if I were to, I would probably make another ermine blouse, and I would use this lovely fabric that I've had in my stash again forever. You probably won't see on the camera. It's got obviously stars, but it's also got a jacquardy effect on it, which I'm not sure is going to come up on there. And it's a bit shiny and shimmery, and it's really rather lovely. And I've got quite a bit of that, 2 meters. So might be another ermine or patina, but yeah, so that's my plans. So do let me know in the comments, are you taking part in this challenge? If so, what are you planning to make? Yeah, I'd love to hear. So and obviously let me know what you think. I hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you're new and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. And I will catch you all very soon. Bye for now.